Today I'm starting a new big project, and so we have to prepare for it. Welcome to a new episode on the single player world, where I am starting a new village. So in this episode, I want to do most of the preparation work. I want to do some terraforming, I want to get some wool down, so that I have a clear view of what I'll be doing. As to why I'm building a village, I just need a valid way to connect the world that we have up to the Guardian farm. So I want to build a port town so that we can just have some ships over on the ocean that will connect, or that will go from the town to the village at the Guardian farm. Let's go and take a look at the location that I have picked out. So I'll be situating the town on this little flat face over here, from this little ridge right there to the little hill over here, where I'll probably be putting the most important building. And then I will be incorporating the little island that we have over there. Before we can do any planning, I'll have to get rid of, well, all of these trees. And yeah, here's a little time lapse of that. So I've noticed while clearing all the trees that I have some cracks and some little ravines in the landscape where the town is going to be. So I decided to cover them up, do a little bit of terraforming, placing some dirt, and just make the terrain a bit smoother than it was before. And now we can go to the real planning. So the first step that I always do is to give a rough estimate of where the border of the town is gonna be. In towns like this, where it's a sizable town that's revolved about trading, they're gonna have a wall around it so that they can defend it. So the border is gonna be the wall, and we're gonna do that with some yellow wool. So the yellow line is gonna be our inward border. We're gonna use this ravine and this hill as a natural border, the same with the, well, ocean. That's going to be a natural border. So everything within those four lines is going to be our town. Now, let's grab some green wool. And we're going to start laying out the main roads. The four main roads are in. We have one leading up to a gate right there. We have one leading up to a gate right there. And then one to the harbor. And I don't know where that one leads, but we'll see. Now I have to put in the lesser big roads, roads that stem off from the main road, but are still pretty big. They're not really alleyways. Roads are a very easy way to divide up your town or city in districts, right? So using smaller roads like these ones, I always use a dotted line for the smaller ones. It just makes it easier to later on decide where you're gonna put what buildings. We currently have something that looks a bit like a spider web from above. It kind of looks like this. But the full lines are the main roads, the four main roads, the avenues, if one would say it like that. But the rest, the dotted lines, are big roads, but they're not main roads, meaning that they go from road to road and not from the center or from somewhere in the city to outside the city. If you notice that you don't really build diagonal or on diagonal lines, making your roads diagonal or random like this is kind of a motivator to build diagonal. Afterwards, using some blue wool, I mapped out the most important buildings throughout the town. These are not going to be final shapes or even final placement, but it's mostly just to get a feel of where I want to put some bigger buildings. So I have the most important places laid out right now. Let's do some cheaty cam work and I'll show you what I mean. So this will be a lighthouse. This is our inn at the harbor, probably the biggest inn in the city. This will be a covered marketplace, the ones that you see in southern Europe quite a bit. And this will be our manor house. Now, when I said that we were gonna divide this up into districts, I meant districts by trade. So this place right here, all the way down to the lighthouse, is gonna be commoners, people that work for other people. Now, right here, close to the harbor and close to all the market spaces in this area, will be the merchants and the craftsmen. So this little area right here is gonna be more facilities. I'm talking about City Hall, a garrison, and so on, will be right in there. And that's gonna be the 3 main districts in the city. I hope that that makes sense, because right now we're gonna start planning out one of those districts. Great. Now, with the entire plan done, I think that's enough for the new project. But there is one more thing that I want to do. Last week, we collected not only all the armor trims, but we also collected the pottery shards. And I want to give those a home as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect up some of the resources up here. We're going to go over to the castle and see what we can do for the pottery shards. I decided to turn one of the towers on the 3rd floor into a storage unit, I would call it, that could keep all of the pottery shards on display, just so I can collect them and put them all together in one spot. And we have 3 floors of those. They're really easy to get to by some stairs. Here we have some leftovers. Now, the fun thing is, I decided to not only do the pottery shards, I also decided to make a tower for the banner patterns, so we have all 5 of them with their respective chests. Lastly, I decided to move the music discs that we had in the room below here to this last tower. And now we have space for all of the upcoming discs if I ever get them. And these are all the discs that we have right now. Now on the 2nd floor right here, I also decided to prepare a space for the horns. I have 3 right now, I have 5 more to go, but one day I'll have them all. And I think that will be the end of the video. I hope you liked it. And if you're curious on what we're going to be doing with the plan, or how it will turn out. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.